How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Sector 6, and today we have got another interview regarding Final Fantasy VII Remake, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and Crisis Core Reunion. It seems like when Nomura and Katase have done this round of interviews in Japan, they've also done an interview with hobbyconsolas.com, which I believe is a Spanish gaming newsletter / magazine. So we're going to jump into it. There's not a massive amount of stuff in here, but if you've seen the thumbnail, you've seen again what gets hinted towards. Don't forget, drop a like on the video, sub for future content. We are getting so close. We're nearly, I think we're at like nearly 850 now, so we're getting real close to the 1,000. Thank you to everybody that has subscribed. It is massively appreciated, and you know, let's get there. But let's get on with it. Now, the interview itself covers a lot of the same ground that the previous interviews covered, so there's not really any major revelations, except it is interesting that once again, we've got a little bit of Dirge of Cerberus. I don't want to say hype, speculation, possibility, a little bit of Dirge of Cerberus possibility to discuss. So at one point, the interviewer asks, does this mean that we won't see Final Fantasy VII Dirge of Cerberus? And Nomura responds with, regarding a remake or a remaster of other installments of the series, at the moment, Before Crisis would need a complete remake, since it's a mobile game, and as for Dirge of Cerberus, his story takes place after the events of Final Fantasy VII. So the most important thing is to finish the remake trilogy first, because if we release Dirge of Cerberus in the middle, people will find out the ending. We'll think about releasing Dirge of Cerberus after we've finished all 3 games, never before. So yeah, little bit of Dirge of Cerberus hype, because it seems like they're considering it. They've spoke about it in the previous interview where they said that they do want to remaster Dirge of Cerberus, but it's just not really something they can do at the minute. Now in this interview, they're talking about the fact that, if they were going to remaster or remake Dirge of Cerberus, it'd be after the remake trilogy is completed. And the way Nomura is saying it, he's saying it as if it's like, oh, well, we don't want to spoil the end of Final Fantasy VII. I mean, let's be fair, Remake kind of spoiled the end of Final Fantasy VII, so I think that's a bit of a moot point. I kind of do feel like that's a moot point. So why would they wait until after the remake project to drop Dirge of Cerberus? Now you look at Crisis Core, and the reason why they're doing that is because they want everyone to know who Zack is, because as they've stated repeatedly in these interviews, Zack is going to be an important character going forward. He's going to be a key character, which already flies in the face of them saying that nothing's going to change because Zack wasn't a key character, but never mind. So if they were going to do Dirge of Cerberus and it's going to tie in to the remake, rebirth, re-something project, then surely they'd do it between game 2 and 3. That was what I thought. I thought they'd do Dirge of Cerberus in between game 2 and 3 now that they've decided they're going to do Crisis Core between 1 and 2. And, we could get it all in together, but the fact that they're saying they're going to wait, it's almost as if they don't want us to know the details. And that comes back to what Nomura just said. It would spoil the ending. And I don't think he means of Final Fantasy VII. I think he means it would spoil the ending of the remake project. Because we've all speculated about this, about how if Sephiroth's plan remains the same and he's going to gather up the life stream and travel the cosmos with Jenova and all that business, that's Omega, which is one of the core parts of Dirge of Cerberus' narrative and overall main plot. It's one of the key mechanics, it is the key mechanic that the planet has in order to take the life stream and leave, essentially. If the planet becomes too corrupted or there's too much of a catastrophe or anything like that. So if Sephiroth's plan remains the same as it was previously, which I don't think it'll be identical, but it's going to be similar. I don't think they're going to change it too dramatically. I think Sephiroth's still going to have the same drive to do the same things that he did previously. He's just going to take different steps to achieve it, because the steps that he's already taken have failed in the past. So he needs to adopt a different approach to this now, which part of it is breaking Cloud as early as possible, I'm sure, and I'm sure that's going to have something to do with it. And if the ending, part 3 of Final Fantasy VII Remake project, turns out to include things like Omega, things like Vice, again, things like Deep Ground. Do you know what I mean? If all these things are going to be included, then having Dirge of Cerberus drop could potentially spoil some of that. Not so much with Vice and Nero, they've already been established, we've got them out of the way now. Could be another reason why we saw them in the DLC, because they've already decided they can't do Dirge of Cerberus because it would spoil too much. I don't know. Let me know what you think. I think the heat is definitely rising on the probability of a Dirge of Cerberus remake at some point. Probably going to be a long way down the road, but at some point, it seems like it could happen. So let's just ask, what would be the one thing that you would want to change about Dirge of Cerberus more than anything? If you remade that game, what would be the one thing that you changed? For me, combat system, 100%. Even if you just give it Crisis Core's combat system or something like that, I don't know. Just change it. Just get rid of that. Just get rid of that. But yeah, as far as the narrative goes, it would tie in massively to a potential third part of the game, you know, as we get close to the end of Sephiroth's plan, and Sephiroth maybe gets a few of the pieces in place. Maybe he has to use Omega and Chaos as a way to do it, because Omega and Chaos are that reset and clean the planet kind of system in the FF7 universe. That is exactly what Sephiroth needs. He just needs to hijack that process. And a Dirge of Cerberus remake would spoil a lot of that for new players. So, yeah, that's kind of my take on it. That, like, a possibility at least. Like, it's possible that he's still talking about, oh, it'd spoil the end of the original game, even though you've shown us the end of the original game in Remake, and Remake's different. So it's not the original FF7. But you know what I mean? You know where I am with all of that. I know a lot of you don't agree, but that's where I am. But yeah, let me know what you think. What would be the thing that you changed the most about Dirge of Cerberus, and why do you think the waiting? Do you think the waiting because it would spoil the ending of the OG FF7, or do you think the waiting because they don't want to spoil the end of this remake project? Drop your thoughts in the comments, like and sub, again, getting so close to 1k, but more importantly than anything, have a great day.